Well, hello and welcome everybody to another edition of Academy Rush. It's Friday, which means it's time to have 5 simultaneously played and broadcasted Academy games. Of course, my name is Julian Peshutamka, and I'll be bringing you just one of the 5 matchups today as we close out the second week of the 2020 Summer Academy split. TSM Academy versus FlyQuest Academy. And if you have not been paying attention, Academy is very interesting right now, even this early on to the season. Both these teams are 2-1. They're in first place, tied with 4 other teams for a total of 6 teams tied for first, with our defending champions Cloud9 Academy currently at 0-3. I'll see if in their game they can pick up a win today, but again, I'll be focusing on this game here. If that little standings overview, though, didn't tip you off, it's been extremely close so far in the early weeks of Academy. And honestly, patch 10.12 feels like it has shaken things up quite a bit for only having a modicum of changes. I think most notably, look to the bottom lane there, Big and Treats both playing Guardian supports. Bard has been played significantly more since this change, even though I think Bard was seen every now and then and felt fairly viable. And Tom Kench may very well be back in business here. Going to be Treats alongside Lost, with the Varus there, which was the first pick overall for TSM Academy. The other big change here for FlyQuest Academy is that despite Mash playing yesterday, Wild Turtle's in today on the Aphelios. No word on why Turtle is in. Not sure if Mash is sick or if there's some potential swap happening, but we'll have to wait and see for the rest of the weekend. For now, we'll just see how Turtle does alongside Big, as Triple and Evolved are going head-to-head here in mid lane. Azir for Triple once again. He did play it yesterday against Phoenix, had the Hail of Bleeds Azir, which was very effective in giving Azir more power early on, so I'd like to see that. Curious to see if more Azirs do want to be going with the Hail of Blades rather than the Lethal Temple. Hold that thought. There was Fnatic, who stole the Trundle away from Winston this draft. Is ganking bottom lane already. It's 2 level 2s against 2 level 1s. What a great pillar there, and see you later, Lost. That's first blood for Fnatic, as Treats can also take some hits, but not enough to get him down. And again, great timing on that gank. Lost will TP back in to not miss much, but Treats not having Devour available there, only being level 1. Meant that Fnatic's very aggressive Trundle gank paid off nicely. And curiously, like I mentioned, Winston has played every game of this split so far. TSM Academy's new jungler on Trundle, but got it taken away from him here as one of the first 2 picks for FLYA in the draft. Now Winston going to try and counter gank here in bottom lane. So we'll see if Turtle does go for it. Oh, there's the Wolf out, biting into Turtle, but not really something they can force. They don't know if Fnatic's closer than we know he is. He's currently taking the Gromp. They are going to go again, but not a whole lot of CC here. Winston does have his red buff, but just, again, kind of tricky to get anything done, and Winston just taking a little bit too long, I think. There is the top scuttle that he can try and take, as that would be the Mark, but he's going to take this one instead. That does mean Evolved is potentially under fire here, but Evolved is now going to swap the Trundle. Not going to be any problems. This will mean, though, that Winston will lose his opportunity for that first Mark. As you can see, Fnatic is making a beeline for that Scuttle Crab. Going to pillar it up, and we'll start to have a little bit of vertical jungling here as Winston is going to invade and take the enemy Wolves away. That's the only camp available on the right-hand side of the map. And top lane, another surprise here. Last pick in this draft was Wukong here for Revenge, who's played so much set, but did move away from that champion in this instance. It was not picked or banned by either team. Dokla decided to take Aatrox because he was picking blind on the blue side of the draft for TSM. And Wukong, a champion that got significantly changed a number of patches ago. I think most notably, his clones can knock up and he can cast his ult twice. But Wukong, a champion that has been, as far as I'm aware, pretty good, but you can't pick it in that many situations. But you can see Revenge dashing in with a Nimbus Strike, ducking out there with a clone. Fnatic also going to pressure Dokla here. He does have the flash. Fnatic flashes in for the bite slow, though, and now the pillar is ready to maybe catch this flash. Dokla gets a good double knockup, gets flash, gets pillared, but enough healing there for the Aatrox as Fnatic and Revenge can't quite dive that tower. But still a really good use of resources there for Fnatic, who, despite being on Trundle, kind of the go-to defensive jungler in this very aggressive jungle meta, Fnatic is not slowing down his desire to gank as many lanes as possible in any given game. He is awfully aggressive as a jungler. Loves to help out the laners and try and tip the balance there. So it's nice to see him staying very active while still managing to keep that farm up despite being 10 behind Winston. They are equal in experience. Bottom lane, you did see a stun just go wide there for Big. Looks like Lost in Treats sits the early gank there by Fnatic when they were both level 1. They've managed to keep hold of their advantage here. Currently up almost 10 CS there for Lost right now, although Wild Turtle is going to play catch up here with Big. Going to flamethrower down the rest of this wave as Lost is trying to get the poke in with the Arcane Comet. Varus likely be seeing lethality, which is kind of the go-to. Now, the other interesting keystone I wanted to point out, apart from, again, Guardian being much more prevalent now and Guardian supports being much more common, is that Fnatic actually has Phase Rush. We did see Winston yesterday with the Press the Attack, which is fairly popular on Trundle as well, but Phase Rush is just starting to creep into basically any champion that feels like they can get away with it. It's very powerful. Movement speed, one of the most valuable stats in League of Legends, primarily because it's so difficult to get. And breaking slows, or giving you slow resistance, is also very powerful, given how many slows just kind of exist incidentally in the League. As we did see Winston able to pick up that first Infernal Drake. FlyQuest are up 400 gold, but not too much to write home about, just that first blood money that they have kind of extra. Fnatic and Big will at least make sure the crab goes down. Some boots out for both supports, so expecting some roams here, especially from the Bard side. But Trees will want to counter him if he can. Doesn't have his ulti up yet, though. Evolve continues to have visitors in his lane, but no one's trying to gank him, thankfully, so he's just continuing to farm up nicely. Has the tier already stacking up. We do see Triples going back for the Dagger and the Lost Chapter, likely working on the Nashers first. But it looks like the blue buff Donut's coming over, and despite that really good gank from Fnatic in bottom lane, and the nice pressure in top, things are holding. We do see Revenge now with the Executioner's calling, trying to get a bit of leverage out of this counter pick here. He's level 6 now, so with Zerkler not having flash for quite a while, it's still halfway cooled down. There's a couple minutes still left there. Certainly are some avenues of attack. Evolve, though, continuing to press up into Azir. Again, if you can dodge the soldier attacks, you can space around them, get the phase rush proc for Cassio, and just dish out DPS. There we go. Cassio can get a lot of mileage in this matchup. Azir, pretty tricky champion to try and overcome in the mid lane. Very stable, very consistent. But Evolved going with the Cassio counter pick here, trying to work the lane a little here versus Triple. Up a wave right now or so. Is Winston going to finish off these Raptors? Are going to have to keep our eyes out on the marks, but I don't see another one yet that spawned. And Fnatic did get the crab that spawned the first bounty, as he's now up on the same side of the map, looking for this Rift Herald. That Revenge here with enough control of his lane that he's going to roam down to help. And even though Evolved is pushing here, it doesn't look like there's any attention going to be given over to this top half of the map. So FlyQuest Academy should be able to get away with this one pretty easily. Revenge, in fact, is going to leave early because he's pretty confident that no one's coming in. And he would be right. We can see that Winston is on the bottom half of the map. Trying to maybe pressure something here with Lost having level 6. Oh, good eat there for Treats. Guardian in a proc as well. Wild Total getting low, but both ADs kind of in a precarious situation. Winston going to look to try and pressure through the tower, but smart backup there by Turtle and Big, just getting completely out of that situation. Winston even going to bail out as Triple has left the lane. He's going to take out that ward. There is a dive maybe brewing here, but now they can spot the Azir. Winston staying with that forward position does mean that he'll spot Triple, which is nice, and Fnatic has understandably rocketed down to the bottom lane here. Still, we could actually just have a straight up 4v4 here. No TPs for either top laner, so they cannot join. But Evolve just counter push the lane. Winston does, in fact, get the mark, which was probably what they were fighting for. And looks like just going to back off here as both ADs have healed up pretty substantially. You can see Turtle there with the Severum. And just looks like some corrupting potion charges there for Lost, plus whatever innate runes they have to give them a life back. As Triple is going to go ahead and pick up that blue buff. Definitely curious to see how the styles of these teams kind of match up. These are two of the more aggressive teams from the opening games we've seen from them this split. TSM, in fact, I would say ran into trouble yesterday in their game by being too aggressive versus the Immortals. Definitely pushed for plays that they didn't necessarily need to, although I appreciate the confidence and the aggression. This is certainly more of a bit more scaling here. You know, Cassio, Kindred, Tahm Kench especially, much more defensive than the bottom lane, which has been pretty aggressive for Lost and Treats ever since their playoff run ended in spring. And looks like FlyQuest also just settling in for the Trundle, settling in for a longer game here with the Azir, with the Aphelios. Although a dive is brewing. 3v2 right now. Good bind there from Big. But the pillar is down. Evolved is cheating towards this side of the lane. He's going to get spotted though. Triple ready with the Emperor's Divide. Evolved's going to have to flash out of there. Does get it late, but he gets the stun down first. Big is going to miss the Tempered Fate, and Treats is here to make sure everyone's okay. He's ulted straight into the front lines. So some damage done, some cooldowns exchanged. No flash on Evolved. But no harm done as Winston still with his ulti ready. He's going to roam down. Lost looks for Turtle, but a good flash from Turtle gets him out. I like the look there with the Chains of Corruption. Winston was there for the counter gank. But again, team's kind of reading movements well. Playing very respectfully, very intelligently in a lot of these situations. See if Evolved having no flash comes back to haunt him though. Fnatic still here with Big and Turtle though. Turtle is just letting it rip with the Beyblades. Ooh, double TP in here though. Dokla's down with a big flank. The Riptail's been dropped as well, but I don't think that's going to save Turtle. See you later. Aphelios, no flash for Turtle, spells absolute death as Dokla still chasing. Evolved also on the side, but he's going to be late to any sort of pincer, so it's just the one kill. A great flank there from TSM Academy. Another good use of TP by Dokla in back-to-back games, affecting the bottom lane. That is going to give Revenge room in the top lane. You can see he's already up 15 CS, but a second Drake for TSM. The Rift will now transform. It's going to be the Ocean Soul available today. And the gold is equalized at that. TSM just happy to sit back and snowball these dragons, you have to think. Evolved is going to roam up to the top lane. Oh, he's going to think better of it. Wiggles back to the mid lane instead. Winston on that ward that just died that saw Evolved for the earlier exchange. They're going to go ahead and take these Raptors out. Continue farming up nicely. Still up pretty far ahead of Fnatic. In fact, so the camp we're with 4, right? Actually not that much. But is trying to stay ahead and stay farmed up on the Kindred. Does have a slight XP lead as well, you have to think, with the 8-7 level lead currently displayed. Lost has also returned after the action in bottom lane with an Umbral Glaive. So, with an extra serrated Dirk and a couple of extra swords in his pockets. Already was getting good use out of this 2v2. Going to try and deny off as much farm as he can. Up 15 CS on Turtle right now. Turtle's probably going to lose at least these two, if not a few more. That casting minion in the back is gone, and Lost is doing a nice job of just controlling this wave. Wanting to deny again as much as possible, but now it's time to push, because he's probably expecting Turtle to be gone by now. But Turtle is just hiding out. Doesn't have a flash, does have his heal, but already ran into trouble after Dokla's TP, so does not want to get Varus ultied and potentially killed. Although he's in danger of being dove here if Big doesn't revisit, but we'll see how Treats and Lost want to play the rest of the lane. Looks like it's time to get some information as Big does not have the Mobies on, but is roaming around. Although Swifty's also been very popular. You can see Treats has those equipped right now. Let's finish his boot upgrade.
Turret plating will fall soon.
Next dragon not up for 3 minutes, so we have a little bit of a window to set up for the objective. Maybe go for something down here on the bottom side for FlyQuest. You can see they're bringing 2 extras to the bottom lane. Fnatic and Triple once again down here. Revenge on the top side does have TP of his own, so this could be full 5 here. Good, grabbing some ulti. They're going to lock down Lost, but the Devour is nice. TP this time in from Evolved, and they're going to try and turn it around. No TP for Revenge. I think Doak was making sure to mark him. Tempered Fate though is going to find 2. Big going to line it up. Oh, does get the double latch stun as well, but Triple just eaten so much damage. Still the flash out is going to force Winston out of there. Revenge is in, gets the Cyclone down. Knock up 1 is there, gets the kill. Knock up 2 is good for the second as Evolved will fall. And Revenge with a very nice TP. A little late, but worked out in the end as Lost is going to get portaled on. Forced to flash away now. Revenge is going to follow in for the party. And the first tower is going to go down despite the farm lead that Lost had here in the 2v2. All this attention to bottom lane by both teams has fallen in the favor of FlyQuest. Up 2,000 gold now. Took that first tower. Got most of the plates off of it in that last-ditch effort. So TSM going to have to play a much scarier long lane here in bottom. As Turtle going to go back and finish his first item. Has the more expensive Infinity Edge. But is going to be ramping up as we certainly know Aphelios can do. Doak also busy with the crab, but going to go ahead and give it over to Winston. No bounty this time. That's over in the enemy Grump, as we can see on the minimap. But Winston and Doak are just going to clear out vision if they can. Don't feel safe enough. Big is on the roam. no Bard ulti for the long range initiation, but Winston and Dokla decide not to play aggressively there. As we are going to be back to a small spot of farming, although I imagine it won't last too long with this next dragon up in 1 minute and 10 seconds. TSM certainly looking to continue their snowball of that objective. As big as clearing out vision on the Baron side of the map. There's another Rift Herald actually up and available. Not sure if FlyQuest want to try and trade objectives here. They do have time to start this Herald though. 50 seconds till that dragon is up. They are going to indeed get the objective. There is a possibility to just try and trade for some turrets here, although it looks like TSM do want to contest for this objective as well. Dokla no TP though. And Revenge is already at mid lane basically. So Evolve's going to go over, going to lock up Triple, going to try and chase him down with a phase rush. In the pit they go. Revenge is here, though they have to be careful with this Wukong flank. Backline is looking a little interesting. Eye goes over. Lost is going to get devoured. Good move there from Treats, but oh, what an ult from Evolve. Going to try and turn it back around. They get the decoy, but that's not what they want. They want real revenge, and Dokla with the flank all the way from the bottom side of the map is going to force flashes and already gets that first kill onto Revenge. Big also going to flash out of there as FlyQuest have almost no cooldowns left to speak of. And yes, the Eye of the Herald does go over to FlyQuest, but they're going to lose this dragon as well. They may lose more as TSM look to push here in mid. Looks like Lost is just going to clear out those waves. The rest of TSM is going to make sure this Ocean Dragon goes their way. And so the TSM plan of snowballing this Soul Drake, absolutely available. 23 minutes or just after, sorry, 22 minutes. It's been a long time since the dragon's been 6 minutes at this point. 22-minute Ocean Soul is on the cards for TSM Academy. And a good attempt as well. Despite Revenge being there so much earlier, with Dokla having no TP and Revenge already starting the roam, Dokla certainly knew the situation, had the timing down, and just a couple of on cooldown flashes away from having a much bigger team fight win there. But TSM will certainly feel confident around the next fight. So again, we'll wait and see. 4 minutes 10 now to the Ocean Dragon is spawning, and of course it is the Soul Drake for this game. Still lots of farming to be had. Triple having a peek there in mid. Does have the Nashes already. Still holding on to the lost chapter he had earlier. Gonna go ahead and turn that into an item next, I imagine. As Fnatic does slap down the Scuttle Crab in the left-hand side of the map. Baron is not up for 1.5 minutes. Ooh, good ult there from Lost. Gonna force a cleanse out of Triple, almost too late to get away, but he does zoom off with the Sand Soldiers. This big ults himself. Interesting play. I wonder if he was trying to bait there or if he just misclicked. Rift Herald in mid lane though. This is the pressure. FlyQuest, despite using a couple cooldowns there, are going to try and punch through mid. They'll get a significant amount of damage done. Winston may be caught, but he dashes around. Oh goodness, Dokla opening it up. Triple's already dead. No cleanse from earlier, no flash now either. Winston with a good lamp to spite his Revenge. He's trying to make something happen, but he just can't really do anything in the team fight. Lost, able to kill Revenge as Evolve flashes in for another. Big gonna fall down here as well. Certainly, no, he's through the portal. Dokla gonna chase him. Misses that first Q. Puts up the Vice Garen and gets himself out of there. The Big will escape, but 3 kills for 1. TSM will also get the mid outer tower as well. Now they're the ones up about 2,000 gold. And again, still getting stronger as they ramp towards this very early Soul Drake. We'll see where the itemization is up to, especially for the mid laners. I imagine item 2 is coming in pretty soon. There's the Rylai's for Evolved, along with an extra Fiendish Codex. And Swifties abound. Bot lane staying synergized in the item department. So again, it just has been kind of back-to-back team fights. The first one, like I said, not really enough for TSM to do big damage. You know, just got the dragon that they maybe were going to get anyway. But all those flashes set up for that next team fight, and it's nice to see that the TSM aggression that we were liking in their early games is at least not lacking when it comes to fighting. Again, both these teams have shown very aggressive styles early on. It's a very different kind of setup, you know, not nearly as many sharp lanes, not trying to win lane nearly as hard. Fnatic's still trying to get aggressive, but he can't, you know, overly gank lanes on the Trundle versus something like, say, the Rek'Sai or the Lee Sin, or even the Nocturne that he played already. So it does seem like TSM getting a little bit more out of their teamfight coordination. Still plenty to play for here for Fly, though. We've seen what a successful Wukong Cyclone can look like. We've seen TSM also deal with it nicely, particularly with that Kindred ulti. So 55 seconds till the Soul Dragon. I mean, FlyQuest know they have to fight for it. Ocean Soul still considered the strongest of the souls. But I think all the Dragon Souls are good. Giving your opponent 4 straight dragons tends to not be a winning strategy. Winston getting aggressive on the big, but spots revenge. We'll now have some info on the position of the flank at least. Gonna look to clear with his control wards. Fnatic though can pillar at any moment and cause awful lot of problems, but Winston does clear that ward and can start flipping away if he needs to. Has not burnt his W yet either. Ooh, Aphelios with the turret down. Little Heimerdinger impression there. Ooh, hello revenge onto Dokla. Just trying to spook him. As Lost and Evolve want to get this mid priority. Dokla clearing a ward is bad news, Bez, though. Ooh, the Cyclone barely not connecting, though, and treats in the front side. A great miasma, though, from Evolve. Lost is already on a killing spree. Triple has to use the Empress Divide early. As the Tempered Fate only hits Dokla, Evolve's ult whiffs as well, and Turtle's just ripping through them now. The Chakram's just getting involved. Winston's still with the Lamp just up, but he's going to have to flip out of here. Has to flash instead. So despite it being a 5v4, TSM don't really have much health here. TP here for Dokla, TP for Evolved, and for Lost, so if they can make these backs, they are going to go back in. I like this angle from Dokla, straight to the throat. Lamps just fights out for Winston. They're going to try and fight for this dragon. Going to have to make it quick, though. Winston is going to get low. Treat saves him over the Devour, and they need to win the back end of the fight. Instead, the drag goes over, but it is to Fnatic. But the teamfight win may be in favor of TSM. They need to kill Turtle, though. Lost and Evolved on top of him, finally, as Fnatic is going to be the next one to maybe fall for revenge. He's going back in. He's got no ulti. He's dancing around with the decoys. Going to get killed by Lost as Evolve will barely survive. And TSM, they knew what they needed to do. Dokla made a very aggressive TP. But it won them the fight. Fnatic barely was able to get that dragon. And now this could be Baron for TSM. So they'll win in the extended play. Evolve will TP back in now just to maintain tempo. And here comes Lost as well. They are going to have to take this quickly. They don't really have a tank either, as Dokla's going to scoot over the wall and take down the Blast Cone. But this should be more than enough DPS. Dokla doesn't need to tank it for long with these damage deals behind it. Oh goodness, I see a jungler. Never mind, Treats is going to bring Winston into the fray and everything's going to be A-okay. As Baron goes over to TSM Academy, up, now 5,000 gold. Just chaining successful team fights here. Again, even though they didn't get the objective. Continually winning these fights, using their cooldowns intelligently, knowing when to re-enter the fight, understanding the situation. And Evolved's Cassio is just filthy, man. Like, if I was Revenge, I would just feel so frustrated. Like, not only is this Cassio, helping to contain the Azir and threaten him, which is good, you need someone to threaten Azir. But I feel like Revenge, when he gets stuck in the miasma, just can't do anything. I feel like Cassio doesn't get enough, like doesn't often get called a control mage, even though I think that's the class she falls into, even if it's, a softer version of that style of mage. He's obviously a huge damage output machine as well. But you use, Cassio's short to mid-range tools effectively, and you'll just box people out, especially melee champions that need to be getting in, like this Wukong for revenge. So Evolve the Boss having an excellent game. Lost is just continually finding snipes and staying safe in these fights. Treats has been an absolute overachiever as well with these Devours. So FlyQuest Academy going to have to dig deep here. Dokla's already finished off this tier 2 in bottom basically. They already got the mid lane one as well. Looks like just 2 lanes of pressure here for TSM Academy. No need to go fancy and try and get all 3. Especially with 0 teleports available. Usually the gold standard for your first Baron is cracking an inhibitor turret and preferably taking its inhibitor as well. So teams have gotten very good at defending from the first Baron. TSM going to have a little bit longer to siege up. And of course, don't forget, after all this is over, the Ocean Dragon's going to be back up. That Soul Drake still a threat for many more minutes for TSM Academy. Basically turns it into a must-fight area for FlyQuest every single time it's up. Evolved actually going to scoot top, try and hit level 16, get the rank 3 ulti, and take down the tower, of course. Ooh, good Tempered Fate. Hits only Treats, though. Winston here to maybe protect. Good Chain of Corruption onto Triple. I like that zoning a lot. Treat's going to have to get out, but he doesn't have Flash, but he has Exhaust. He's still fairly tanky as well. Has the Stone Plate, but didn't need to pop it. So FlyQuest don't overextend onto the Tahm Kench. But that means Evolve just continues to have free time in the top lane. He's going to take down that tower now. 6-1 in structures. And Evolve's going to take it back. Has full Leandry's finished off all that gold they picked up. And with 1:15 left on the clock to the Ocean Dragon is up and available. TSM going to go ahead and set up for it. FlyQuest know they're already down there clearing out the vision. Sun Tower falls in mid, but it does really feel like it's all on this fight around this next dragon. 3 items for the Cassio, 3 items for the Varus. With Lost even having a couple extra pieces there. Both a product of how many kills he's been able to get, how much gold he's currently worth as a bounty. But also Varus's items just being a bit cheaper. Even though Total has 2.5 items, it just doesn't feel like FlyQuest can easily get in. Getting poked down here, the Cassio and the Kindred are protecting everyone. Douglas is diving in fact. They're onto Triple again. He does have Flash, but he doesn't have Kleds. Now he doesn't have Flash. I like the aggression from Dokla. Just pops the ult and runs straight towards the carry. That's a big flash to not have for this team fight if you're FlyQuest. 20 seconds now to the Ocean Dragon is up, and I don't even know if FlyQuest can get down here. Between the Kindred, the Cassio, and the Varus, this Dragon's going to just explode. 7 seconds. Dokla's going to catch the bottom wave to give them a bit more vision from the minions, and FlyQuest Academy, I just don't think are even fighting it. The Ocean Soul is going to go over. Now even tougher to fight TSM. Tough to shake off the poke of the Varus. Tough to beat them down with how strong the regen is. There's a tower that goes down in top lane, so FlyQuest do finally nab their second turret. So it should be a quick reset here for TSM, spend whatever gold they've accrued since setting up for that dragon, and then go in for the kill. Older Dragon will be up in 5.5 minutes if you need it, but I imagine the second Baron, if not before then, should be more than enough of a window for TSM to close this game with the Soul. Still up 6,000 gold, almost 6,500. Level 16 on the Cassio. Has a stopwatch as well, just in case. Winston starting to probe forward. Has that Blade of the Ruined King alongside his jungle enchant. It was a legitimate threat as well. And Evolve is just continuing to create a huge open lane in the top lane. TP in, oh, that's Evolved. This is such a nasty flank. Chain of Corruption already started off onto Turtle, who's low. Evolved is over the top. Flash ult finds 2. That's going to be 2 quick ones there. As Revenge again in Lamb's Respite ulting. It just feels so frustrating for this Wukong. Between the Cassio Miasma and the Kindred ulti, there's just not much it feels like he can do. Fnatic exhausted, but he'll get out. Bless up Face Rush, I think, for making sure he can get away there. But lost his work in the top side. He TP'd back in. His treats with a mate as Dokla is going to come in beside him. And TSM just going to burst through the base. In fact, they're going straight for the kill here. 25 seconds for Triple. 5v4 still for a while, but TSM have more than enough gold, more than enough items to just force here. Fnatic just getting blasted down by this Cassio. Second Nexus turret is halfway dead, or they ran out of minions. Backdoor protection kicking in means that TSM are only going to get a second inhibitor open. They will not take it, however. But they'll fall back to Baron. Big and the rest of FlyQuest are probably going to make a play here, so TSM are going to read it. And counter engage once again. Fnatic in a face check. Evolve. See you later. Trundle just melts to the poison of the snake. And triple in again, he tries to get the pushback onto Winston. That's a good kill. No ulti there for Kindred, but Dokla forcing Wild Turtle to just kite recklessly away. Ooh, what a good devour there for Treats. Evolve's got a triple kill. Excuse me? On track for the Penta, never mind. Big's dead. Evolve's just ignoring it. He wants the Nexus. Big is going to die to Lost. He's godlike with his 7th kill. In fact, both carries pick up 7 here. A combined 14 of the 16 kills between Evolves and Losses. TSM Academy have played quite the bounce-back game since yesterday. So they'll take the last Nexus turret, they'll do a little victory lap around the Nexus, and perhaps they'll dive Turtle in the fountain, but I think they'll settle for victory instead. Turtle is going to do everything he can to at least pad the KDA, but the Nexus is done, and TSM Academy will pick up the W.